Welcome back. As you know, I am Eli, the computer guy, here for the Daily Blob, where I shake my brain nipples every day to get some of that dirty YouTube money so I can afford to provide you folks in-person, hands-on technology education in Durham, North Carolina. So Silicon Dojo, silicondojo.com, we do in-person classes approximately every 2 weeks right now. We are going to step that up a bit going into the future, but these are hands-on classes for coding and artificial intelligence and databases and that type of thing. Basically, the idea is you come, you learn, you then go the hell away and you use what you've learned to make your life better. That's the idea with silicondojo.com. So if you're interested in the classes, we have a class coming up on AI and SQL. Next week, we have a class on AI web scraping on November 19th. Take a look at silicondojo.com if you're interested. Do remember, free to the end user is not actually free. There's a donor box link down below if you want to throw a couple of dollars in there. And then I gotta say, today the spaghetti monster made me believe, right? It's been a tough year. It has been a tough year for me, right? Last year we had a biblical flood here in Asheville, North Carolina. Lots of different things are going on. And there's that moment in your life, you look up to the heavens and you say, "Spaghetti monster, have you forsaken me?" And then once in a while, the spaghetti monster will bestow you with such a gift. You know that it still remembers that you're there. And the gift today is it's artificial intelligence. It's artificial intelligence and layoffs. And layoffs. It's not AI or layoffs. It's AI and layoffs. That's right. Meta is laying off AI employees. These are not employees being replaced with AI. These are AI employees that are getting the fucking boot because their department is, wait for it, bloated. Bloated. So anyways, I've been talking about this crap show, or the crap show that is coming down the pike, for quite a while. As I say, this is just math, right? There's politics and there's higher level discussions, and then you just get to a point where it just becomes math, right? Sam Altman talking about spending $4 trillion just on CapEx expenses for AI data centers, right? That is not a political argument about, is AI valuable? Is AI not valuable? Are LLMs the future? Have LLMs, come to a dead end, right? Those are all kind of like the philosophical discussions there. The question of should we spend $4 trillion on CapEx expenses for one company for artificial intelligence? See, that just comes down to math. That just comes down to, no, that is stupid, right? We have OpenAI right now, worth quote unquote, worth $500 billion. Anthropic, worth $183 billion. xAI, worth $200 billion. These are all startup companies. These are not on the open market. This isn't for everybody to come together and decide what the proper valuation at any moment in time is. No, this is just what investors have pumped these companies up for. And with Meta, right? Mark Zuckerberg has come out and he said after Meta's success with the metaverse, look, Mark Zuckerberg spearheaded the metaverse, and you see how the metaverse is currently doing. So now, after the success of the metaverse, Meta is spearheading, right? Mark Zuckerberg wants to be the premier AI company, basically, in the world. Why? Who the hell knows? Who knows? Do they need AI services? Do they need parsing and all those kind of services? Yes, absolutely. Do they need to be a premier AI company? No, that again, math. No, that doesn't actually make a damn bit of sense. But anyways, right? He's been spending billions and billions and billions of dollars. They want to spend $115 billion this year on AI. Why? Who the hell knows? Because basically, they don't have a plan. It's all buzzwords. These are syphilitic fucking lemmings all following themselves in order to try to get some of that sweet, sweet investor money. And the wheels are coming off because, lug nuts. You put the wheel on the car with lug nuts. Here's the thing. When you put the wheel on the car with duct tape, it doesn't take an engineer to say, that shit's not gonna work. So anyways, Meta lays off 600 from bloated AI unit as Wang cements leadership. 600 Meta employees from the AI unit. This is not bloated management. This is not HR. This is not all those other things. All those other things where you can be like, oh, Eli, oh, you have to understand. No, motherfucker. This is from the AI unit because this is all horse crap. This is all complete and utter horse crap. Is there a value to LLMs? Yes. Absolutely, there's a value to LLMs and all of the other different models. Is there a tremendous value in LLMs and all the other models? Yes. Is it that much? No. No. It's like I keep talking about with a water bottle of water, right? Water keeps you alive. Water, you need water to sustain life. Literally, if you don't get enough water in a day, you will die. 3 days without water and you will die. What in the world is more valuable than water? Right? But if you go to the gas station, and you walk into the gas station and they have a bottle of water for $1 million, are you going to think that's appropriate? But you need water to stay alive. No, that's ridiculous. Okay, not $1 million. Eli, $1 million, that's stupid. What about $10,000? What about $1,000? What about $500? What about $100? $100 to give you something that sustains life. I know. For whatever reason, we all agree it's like $1.50 for a bottle, right? We will pay $1.50 to remain alive. It says a little bit about the human condition. But anyways, right? That's the thing. Water is tremendously valuable, tremendously required, but we still are only going to pay about $1.50 for it. And that's the whole thing with this whole AI stuff, right? Is AI valuable? Yes! For about $1.50. For about $1.50. Whatever the container of AI is, we'll pay about $1.50 for a container for AI. We're not going to spend trillions of dollars. Well, we're not. Our politicians apparently are more than happy to spend our trillions of dollars for AI. But anyways, right? This just doesn't, again, and that's why I've been talking about this kind of stuff. This stuff fundamentally doesn't make sense. And this is what you have to be careful about, right? For a lot of the new people in the tech world, a lot of people that are now getting hit with layoffs, what you have to understand are people are lying to you, right? Because if they lie to you, it makes themselves feel more comfortable. Like they feel like they're helping, right? One of the big issues we have with a lot of these technology companies right now and the government is this whole idea that AI is the future. Now, what you have to understand, which is insidious about this, right? Well, how can that be insidious, right? AI is the future. Even Eli, the computer guy, says AI is valuable. Eli, the computer guy, is teaching AI at Silicon Dojo. So how is it insidious to talk about this being the future? Because what this does is it puts the onus for the problems on you, right? When you get laid off, if you're told AI is the future and all the money is in AI, when you get laid off and you can't get a job, right? Well, it's not the government's fault, right? It's not the company's fault for mismanagement and the rest of that. It's not really the economy's fault. If only you had learned AI. Learn to code AI. Right? That is a very easy way to sweep people that are being disadvantaged by the current system under the rug. They would be fine if they had taken the initiative, if they had had the motivation to learn the skills that are required in this modern world. It is not my fault that a coal miner refuses to learn Node. Anybody can learn Node. Anybody can make money off of Node if a sniveling, whiny, redneck, red-hatted, fucking dirt licker isn't willing to learn how to program. That's not my fault. Motherfucker should pull himself up by his bootstraps, right? Right? Isn't that what we heard about the coal miners, right? When we destroy the industry of the United States, isn't that what we're told? If they weren't so pathetic, they would do what is required to be successful. And with this whole AI thing, right, that's basically all these people that learn to code. Oh no, it was wrong. Our politicians lied to us. Our intelligentsia lied to us. The academia lied to us. The people in power lied. No, you didn't need to learn to code. And now, all you need to do is learn how to code with AI, right? The whiny, sniveling, pathetic, node developers that are not willing to upskill themselves for the next thing that the world needs, right? That's not the politicians' fault. That's not the business leaders' fault. That's not the economy's fault. Look at these lazy, pathetic node developers that have no discipline and motivation to make their lives better. Why should any of us care? Right, but the issue is, right, this is a bit of a Ponzi scheme. There's only so many jobs. There's only so many jobs. People go for those jobs, and then at a certain point, right, the job force gets bloated, and there aren't any more jobs. There aren't more jobs, and then they just find the next thing that, well, if only you learn to X, Y, or Z. And so that's a concerning thing that I have right now, is a lot of people are being told, well, you have to learn AI. And you should learn AI. If you want to be in the technology world, if you want to continue in the technology world, you do need to learn AI. Just like years ago, I had to learn Linux, and years ago, I had to learn Mac, and years ago, I had to learn programming, and the rest of it. All right? Time goes by, you need to learn AI. But you have to understand, it's not the panacea. It's not the panacea. And however it seems right now, however it seems at this moment in time is fading very, very, very quickly. And the myth that you've been sold on artificial intelligence is a whole bunch of horse crap. And so we're starting to see that fall apart. And so this is one of those things that you need to start thinking about, again, with your career, is where do you really fit in? Where do you really fit in this brave new world that's being created? Don't listen to the people that are lying to you. Be careful. All right. Meta will lay off roughly 600 employees. Again, not 60, not 6, not 16, 600 employees within its AI unit as the company looks to reduce layers and operate more nimbly. Right? Everything's about being nimble nowadays, more efficient. A spokesperson confirmed with CNBC. The company announced the cuts in a memo from its chief AI officer, Alexander Wang, who was hired in June as part of Meta's $14.3 billion investment in Scale AI. Workers across Meta's AI infrastructure units, fundamental artificial intelligence research unit, and other product-related positions will be impacted. It is curious, product-related positions too, not just simply research and development. Within Meta, the AI unit was considered to be bloated, with teams like FAIR and more product-oriented groups often vying for computing resources, the people said. When the company's new hires joined the company to create superintelligence labs, it inherited the oversized Meta AI unit, they said. The layoffs are an attempt by Meta to continue trim the department and further cement Wang's role in steering the company's AI strategy. And so it is interesting here that it's 600 layoffs. And think about this, again, in the modern world, and compare this to 5 or 6 years ago. So these are 600 employees. These are 600 employees in the AI department. So you would think, from what we've been told, from the horse crap that we have been fed, you would think these are some of the most valuable employees on the market, right? These are people that are smart enough to work at Meta and that have a niche in the AI world. And so what's curious here is that it doesn't look like they're being offered reskilling or moving around the company, right? Okay, look, we have these AI departments, right? AI departments are screwed up. We bought Scale AI. We need to do a reorg, right? Hey, you are valuable employees. You are valuable employees that are valuable to this company. We don't want to lose you. So we're going to just do a dumbass reorg. People are going to get moved around. If you want to quit, that's your problem. But, but the interesting thing to think about here, Meta, after they spent billions and billions, tens of billions of dollars to grow this department, are willing to cut 600 employees that are up to the Meta standards, that are targeted towards artificial intelligence. They are willing to cut them off at the knees. Think about this for a second. Not that long ago, right? In the spring, I think there was a lawsuit in England where it came out that Google was literally paying AI engineers not to work for anybody else. Like, this is real. Like, you can go and you can Google search from back in the beginning of spring. Literally, Google was hiring AI employees and then just telling them to do whatever the hell they wanted to do other than work for their competitors, right? That's how valuable AI employees were not that long ago. So Google, 6 months ago, is paying AI employees to literally sit on their ass. And now Meta is just cutting 600 AI employees and telling them to go bugger off. Right? What are the tea leaves telling you? What is the math telling you? Meta notified at least some employees on Wednesday that November 21st is their termination date. So we are October 22nd, so that is less than a month away. Until then, they are in a non-working notice period. So they've already been told not even to work. It's not even wrap up your stuff, make sure you hand everything off. No, basically, you're no longer working. You're just not officially fired for about another month. Quote, during this time, your internal access will be removed and you do not need to do any additional work for Meta. 600 employees at a shot have all of their access removed from Meta's systems, and that's okay. Now think about that. Like imagine if you've ever actually done any technology work. I mean, like I know this is a surprise and it's like Eli, the computer guy channel, but hey, imagine you're actually building shit. Imagine if you're actually shipping shit. Imagine if you're actually maintaining shit, right? And imagine like you're in the middle of doing work. You're in the middle of doing what we're supposed to be getting paid for. And imagine if in the middle of that, your access gets cut. Right? And again, think about configurations, think about passwords, think about crap you didn't get around to documenting because you figured you had time at some point in the future. Think about the little things that you were going to hand off, but you thought you had more time in the future, right? If you were actually building and deploying and maintaining, somebody shuts your access off that quick, there are functional problems there for the company. Now imagine a company does that to 600 employees at one time. And then ask yourself, how valuable are those employees? Wait a minute. Meta was willing to strip access to 600 AI employees, immediately. And they figured that was okay. And almost, I'm just gonna put this out there, it almost sounds like they weren't doing work that had any value at all. Any value at all. But I don't know. Let's see here. It said the message, you may use this time to search for another role at Meta. So you can search for another role at Meta. You can do what you want to do. CEO Mark Zuckerberg had grown frustrated with Meta's progress in AI, especially after the release of its Llama 4 models in April, received a lukewarm response from developers, which honestly seems pretty because there's so damn many models. I remember when Llama 3 came out. Llama 3, we're all like, Llama 3! Woo, woo! Like that was like a year and a half ago. And because when Llama 3 came out, there were not a lot of good open models out there, right? The interesting thing now is, again, as I've said before, there's a crap ton of good open models. You go to Ollama. Ollama is a framework, allows you to use Python with LLM and other models. You go there, there's like 1,000 models to download. Right? I'm not actually snarky against Llama 4. Like, as I've said before, like with Mark Zuckerberg, like he's a complete and utter bastard towards the customer, towards consumers and average human beings. He's a piece of crap. Towards the tech community, they're actually pretty good. React, Llama, there's a lot of stuff they actually put out into the developer community that's actually very valuable. And so that's the thing. Like when I look at Llama, like I have very little snark. The only snark I have on the Llama models is they're not open source. Stop calling them open source and we'll be good. That is my only, again, I get into an argument with an actual Meta employee. I was talking to this fucking Meta employee, literally was supposed to be developer outreach for the Llama models and got into an argument over open source. And then he just got mad because I didn't just accept that he said it was open source. Well, there's disagreement. Yeah, there's disagreement because it's not open source. But anyways, right? Here's the thing. Stop calling Llama open source and we are all good. Don't see much of a downside to Llama. But it is a massively crowded market, right? If you're gonna go out there and you're gonna use a model, I talk about Granite, right? IBM's Granite LLMs now, right? Why? Because they have been trained entirely on business communication, right? If you're gonna create a system and it's gonna be a business environment, do you want something trained on business communication or do you want something trained on Reddit? Think about what the output is gonna be. Reddit goes in, Reddit goes out. Business email goes in, business email goes out. Call me a funny buddy in the business world. I'd rather shit that doesn't look like a Reddit comment, right? But anyways, right? So he's all frustrated because they're like falling behind because everybody in the world is chasing this artificial intelligence crap. And when everybody is going after it and nobody has found the road to profitability. We hear about the investments, right? We hear about the $500 billion valuations. We hear about the investments, $40 billion investments. We hear about ARR, annual rate of revenue or whatever. That might be like $10 billion or something else. But we're not hearing his profit. We're not hearing from any of these jackasses. None of these jackasses are we hearing profit. And the thing, it is such a massively crowded field at this point in time because everybody's going after it because it's AI, because right? So I think they're basically starting to hit the wall of what is appropriate and what is valuable, and they're realizing that their AI department is bloated. So 600 AI employees, they're fucking gone from Meta. This is what we call in the real world yet another domino falling. Yet another of the stupid dominoes are falling. So what do you think about this? What do you think about Meta firing 600 AI staff? Bloated AI staff, right? Not doing a reorg, not trying to, no, get the fuck out. What do you think about 600 AI employees? Again, if you've actually worked in the tech world, can you imagine 600 of these employees literally getting their access cut done and being told no more? Like you can't hand stuff off, you can't finish the documentation, you can't tweak those final little configurations or whatever. Your ass is just gone. What do you think this shows about the wider world of AI, the AI economy, and also again, the economy, right? All through with the Trump's disaster, with tariffs and all that kind of stuff. If you look at it, the thing that has boosted the American economy over 2025 is AI, right? If you look at the S&P 500, 10 technology companies that are highly focused on AI, they are worth 40% of the entire S&P 500. They talk about with GDP growth in the United States, it's something ridiculous. It's like 1.5% of GDP growth is AI, right? These numbers are ridiculous. What do you think? What do you think about all that? Put your thoughts down below. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. If you hate these videos, give us a thumbs down. Call me amazing, call me a numbnut. Just be a real Lutnick and do it down there in the comment section. Do you remember Silicon Dojo? SiliconDojo.com is my pride and joy, what I actually care about. In-person, hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever the hell it is that you want to do. We're doing a class on AI and SQL coming up on November 5th. We're doing a class on AI web scraping coming up November 19th. Do remember, free to the end user is not free. There's a little donor box link down below if you want to help support that project. And with that, see y'all later.